Guten Tag. So just a quick video update. I've graded the tests for both classes, and there were a couple of things I wanted to talk about. So for the um, 1002 class, the second semester students, one thing that came up a few times in some of the exercises, on the test, uh, was that some of you seem to be having some trouble remembering the dative possessive determiners, right? So take a look back at them. Take a look in the book, at the online book. Um, and there's really, unfortunately, there's not really any good way to to learn all the determiners other than just to kind of sit down, memorize them, and then encounter them in your reading and listening exercises and so on. That said, I'm also happy, as always, to Skype with you if you want to talk to me about them, about anything that's given you problems. Uh, for the 2002 class, one thing that came up that I think you might want to review would be the reflexives. Remember, with reflexive verbs, if there's only one object, it's going to be accusative, and if there are two, then there's going to be a direct object, which will be accusative, and then there will be a dative as well. So, for example, we can compare a phrase like ich wasche mich, right, versus ich wasche mir die Haare or ich wasche mir die Hände, right? So if you're going to wash your hair or your hands or something, it would be ich wasche mir die Hände. It's like you own the parts of your body with the dative, but then the parts themselves are accusative. So there was an exercise in the homework and on the test where you were talking about your morning routine, um, and so you could say something like erst stehe ich auf, dann putze ich mir die Zähne, right? Because die Zähne would be the direct object, it would be the accusative, but because it's yours, right? You would say ich putze mir die Zähne oder du putzt dir die Zähne. Compare that with danach ziehe ich mich an, right? Since mich is um, the only object, it's going to be a direct object and accusative. So you'd have something like erst stehe ich auf, dann putze ich mir die Zähne, dann ziehe ich mich an, right? Dann gehe ich zur Uni, what have you. Okay, so let's talk about grading for the test. Once again, what I did is I gave everybody in both classes half the distance to the goal. So um, effectively, if you made an 80, you would get 90. So you'd get back half the points that you didn't get when you took the test. So that's the curve, half the points. Then for the homework, this time everybody who did something. There were one or two students who did absolutely nothing. They had like a zero for homework, and I think those may have been students that dropped the classes, so it didn't matter anyway. Um, but everybody who did something got 100% on the homework. And the reason I did that is because obviously, with staying home the week after spring break, um, I had to put in an extension because that week we weren't supposed to do any work, right? Well, students weren't supposed to do any work. Um, so what I did is because I couldn't change the due date, I just put in an extension. I mean, you're all familiar with that by now. But unfortunately, for some students, the extension didn't really work, and they were reporting to me that they could either not access the homework anymore, or they could access it, but it was saying it could no longer be counted. So to just because of that, I decided the best course of action would be just give everybody 100% for the homework. I probably won't be doing that next time because for chapter 6 for the 1002 class and chapter 12 for the 2002 class, you've got the due date. It's the last day of class, April 27th. And so, I'm not planning to need to put in extensions or anything like that because we're already online at this point. So you should be set with no issues from the platform. But for this time, everybody got 100% for the homework. Um, so the other thing I mentioned last time for the intercultural event, I would put up a discussion board. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to try to do that this weekend or Monday at the latest. Put up a place where you can just tell everybody about your intercultural event. Write a few sentences, anything you did. If you went somewhere, that's fine. Obviously, right now nobody's going anywhere. We're staying home. At least you should be staying home. Social distancing. So it's fine if you just, if you have a German movie you can watch on Netflix, or a German article, or an article about a German topic that you want to read online. A couple of good places. If you actually want to read it in German, this would probably be more for the 2002 class, you could check out Die Zeit is a really good newspaper, Zeit.de. Die Welt is another one you could look at, Welt.de. Um, Otherwise, if you find something on NPR that's German related, you could even talk about how Germany's handling the coronavirus, because that would be kind of like a cultural political thing. So anything like that. I mean, I'll kind of leave it up to you. I'm giving everybody a lot of space here and trying to be flexible. Um, so that would be your intercultural event. Just give us a few lines on the discussion board, and I'll give you credit for that. If you went to something already when we were still meeting face to face, if you went to the International Coffee Hour or something, you could talk about that, talk about what you did. Um, then finally, the other thing is the oral proficiency project. Originally, I'd planned for everybody to, maybe with a partner to do a little presentation, and I would kind of grade your oral proficiency. Since we obviously can't have that, what I'd like to do is just meet with everybody individually at least once on Skype, and we'll spend some of that time speaking German, um, and then I can kind of use that discussion on Skype as a way of grading your oral proficiency. Okay. Now beyond that, if you just want to practice German with me, again, I'm always available. Just let me know. I'll go ahead and put up the new sign up sheet for this next week, and you can sign up to Skype with me and just practice your German. That's fine too. All right. I wish everybody the best. Hope you enjoy the weekend at home, and yeah, I'll talk to you later.